Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk on the Block. A lot of talk in the city today. And there are many who missed out on the discussion this morning. I will share some of what was shared this morning. But we're going to do this and then we'll come back.
Our beloved island.
BlockQ 95. I love Q95.
Right on cue, right on cue, right on cue, right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue, right on cue, right on cue, right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue, right on cue, right on cue, right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
I guess by now you must have heard that the Opposition United Workers' Party issued a statement as it relates to all that has been happening in the media. Executive member a call, basically, if you will, for that executive member to resign as the deputy political leader. The debate is, or the argument is, some believe that was the best decision of the leader and the executive members. Others believe that it could have been dealt with differently. And this is the Talk on the Block. We heard the political leader this morning. Let's listen again. Again, it may just be a difference of opinion. Some, believe that was not the best way to do it. Others felt it was. Again, let's listen to the leader.
To get the facts. A lot of statements are being made without facts. Almost as though there's a new thing in Dominica now. The facts must not spoil our good story. We have a story that we want to tell. We have somebody that we want to take down or somebody that we want to score points over. The facts are not going to interfere with us. The first thing I want to do this morning, Matt, in the limited time available to me, is to state from the rule of law in Dominica that when a charge is made under the Sexual Offences Act of 1998, anyone who publishes or broadcasts any matter that is likely to lead members of the public to identify a person as the complainant or as the accused in relation to that charge is guilty of an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine of $50,000 and to imprisonment for 3 years. We were aware of that rule of law requirement in Dominica in the circumstances of this important national discussion. We also took alongside with that the responsibility that certain statements must be made in a certain way that do not run afoul the law. The executive of the United Workers' Party met on Monday of this week, and in that meeting agreed that the leader of the party should make a statement at that stage stating the party's position and indicating certain concerns. That statement, Matt, opens up with a note on the policy direction of the United Workers' Party on the rights and development of children, which is articulated at page 63 of our 2014 social contract to rescue and to rebuild Dominica. There we state, and I quote, "Children will hold a pride of place in the best place to live, the best place to work, and the best place to enjoy life." UWP Team Dominica wholeheartedly embraces its responsibility to ensure the rights of our children are respected, protected, and fulfilled. We agree to comprehensive reviews of the laws relating to the well-being, happiness, and development of our children. A top priority on our agenda to revise existing laws will be the Sexual Offences Act. Specifically, we are committed to ensure that parents, guardians, or caretakers will no longer be allowed to use hush money to obstruct justice for our children. Whether it requires changing existing laws, creating new ones, or establishing appropriate systems and facilities, UWP Team Dominica is fully committed to help families protect children's rights and create an environment where they can grow into the realization of their full creative potential. When we made that statement, when we gave that commitment as part of our social contract to rescue and rebuild Dominica, all of the members, the executive members, the candidates involved in campaigning for the United Workers' Party for pride of place in constituencies and so on, were on board with this and continue to be on board with it. We stand firmly, Matt Peltier, behind these commitments to the balanced, holistic development of our children as we strive to make Dominica best. We've seen a situation where over the past week, one of our executive members has been facing allegations of serious inappropriate behavior towards a minor. That executive member has denied the allegation. Nonetheless, a charge has been made under the Sexual Offences Act. What is to be the response now of the executive, the leadership of the United Workers' Party? I'm hearing media practitioners this morning on Q95 talking about the lack of support for the executive member. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure I understand what that means. Because I didn't hear that story when it broke on the hot seat on Monday morning last week. I heard that story the day before. Actually, no, the Saturday before that. The Saturday of the weekend before the Monday of last week. I heard that story on Saturday night. I called the member in question on Sunday. And the member in question visited me at my home in Mount Daniel, sat down with me, spoke about it. It was my initiative to bring him to me for us to have a conversation, for me to see what was, for me to hear from him what was happening, and to decide what we could do in the circumstances. At that point, I'm not thinking party, I'm thinking the human being who is part of a political organization and against whom these allegations have surfaced. We had an emergency meeting of the executive team. Sorry, Matt.
It's okay.
We had an emergency meeting of the executive management committee on Monday last week. The individual was there and gave a full brief to the team as to his understanding of what was going on. His representation to the team, and I'm not going to go in detail, in summary said there was nothing that his colleagues needed to be worried about because he was not going to be charged. There was going to be no charge. There was no case against him. There was no evidence of this or that or what not. That was the representation made to his colleagues on the team last Monday. It would appear to us that somewhere in the next couple of days the situation changed, but he never came back to his colleagues to say, well, I may have been inaccurate in my representation. Look, this is what I now understand, so you need to be aware of this. I am sure, Matt, if you had ever gotten into a situation where you had represented X to your family or your close friends about a matter involving you, and then you understood it to be Y, you would have immediately, as a matter of importance, come back to the team that you spoke to, whether family or the friends, well-wishers, to say, well, this is no longer the situation, so expect this instead.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Monday. On Tuesday, people have their work to do. Everybody goes about their own business with the assurance that nothing is happening or nothing will happen from the individual who's directly involved himself. And so, when on Wednesday, things appeared to some of us on the team to have changed, an attempt was made to engage with the member again. this time with somebody who is close to him and somebody who could have a sit-down discussion with him about what we thought was going to happen. That took place. That was Wednesday. The meeting, I'm told, lasted over 3 hours. And then late on Wednesday night, I start hearing stories that the team has abandoned this particular member.
Okay.
And it goes down into Thursday morning that the team has abandoned the member, that he has been thrown under the bus, that the leader doesn't like him for whatever reasons. And I said, in these times, emotions run high and things get said. It's okay. My back is broad. On Thursday evening, in the evening sometime, it came to me that the individual was in the custody of the police. I made a phone call. I didn't get the individual. I understood first thing on Friday morning that the individual was in the cell overnight, Thursday night. I went down to the police station to see our team member. The police officer at the charge office said it's not possible to see him. At the time I arrived, I think he'd already gone up to the CID, and I was advised by the police officer, in any event, only his lawyers are allowed to see him. And then later on in the day, I understand that the member was released on bail and would appear in the court the following week. And from that point on, it has been story after story after story on my phone, pretty much with the sentiments of Carlisle and Baptist this morning, that the individual was pushed under the bus, that he was abandoned by his team, that his team did this and his team did that. The team has been there for the individual. It is the individual who has decided in the latter days of the week there, when things turned, that he was going to abandon his colleagues. And somewhere around there too, persons who were sympathetic to him, I'm sure you know many of them, Matt LJ, would go out in public with that very story, that he was abandoned and so on. The statement, Matt, is a statement that is necessary in the circumstances where the people of Dominica expect to hear and be reminded of what our position is. And that is why I took the opportunity on behalf of the leadership of the United Workers' Party Team Dominica to apologize for the widespread disappointment, the hurt, and the discomfort among nationals at home and abroad caused by this very regrettable development.
But Lennox Linton, a lot of people are pointing to a Facebook post that you had. Can you speak to that? Because I did not see it and I don't know about it because I am not one on Facebook.
Matt, I received a flood of calls and WhatsApp messages over the weekend asking me what was going on, because I am being blamed for the predicament that our team member is in. How I sabotaged him, how I did this, how I did that, none of which is true. all total and absolute lies. And I felt, after speaking to the member on Sunday just gone, this Sunday here, and after hearing the confirmation that the member was aware that these things were being said about me, and after hearing his assurance he was dealing with his matters spiritually, I felt I would just, on my page, say that when your fence is low, a lot of things happen. You even get blamed for things you didn't do by people who are supposed to know you. People who are supposed to know how steadfastly you stand for truth, for righteousness, for justice. Will turn around and blame you for the things that they do. Man, this is an extremely sad episode, but this is a national struggle to defeat the scourge of child abuse. The member of our team is innocent until proven guilty, and so the member of our team has the right to a defense, as much as the alleged victim has a right to have the matter justly prosecuted without fear or favor, affection or ill will. We must not forget that we're dealing with a minor here. The minor is the accuser. The adult in this situation is the executive member of our party. What have we said in the past, Matt, about fighting child abuse? What have we said about creating an environment in which the young people who are abused will feel comfortable to come forward and report what happens to them? What have we said about that? What observations have we made about a hostile environment that seeks to shut down children and prevent them, make it difficult for them to say when they are affected? So, in that light, I am asking, the support for the executive member so accused should have meant what from us? Rallying busloads of people into the city outside of the police station to say he didn't do it? What exactly should the support have meant? We agree with the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. We're also saying that the accuser, in the matter where a charge has been laid, has the right to have the matter justly prosecuted. Because you see, Matt, if we don't give the complaints of abused children the importance they deserve in the judicial process, if we shut them down through payments to parents, if we intimidate them and we trash the truth with legal technicalities, or we create a whole political hullabaloo over it that seeks to send a message to the family of the victim, then the menace of child abuse will never be properly addressed. It's going to continue to wreak havoc without let or hindrance. It's not because it is one of our own. We have to demonstrate responsible behavior. We have not thrown this gentleman under the bus. We have engaged with him up until the point where he disengaged with us. And we believe, Matt, that resignation from office, at least while a matter of this nature is before the court, is the only honorable course of action available to public officials in the leadership of political parties who face such allegations of inappropriate behavior. And that, as we said in the statement, is precisely what the United Workers' Party Team Dominica expects of the accused executive member.
Lennox Linton, thank you very much for your side, your explanation this morning.
Q Classifieds. Get more value for your money, more bang for your buck. Advertise on Q95. Get even more value when you advertise on Q Classifieds. property for sale, lease, homes, business premises, car rentals, job vacancies, hotel and restaurant services, tours, finance and insurance services, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Advertise your audio or videos, scripts, flyer information, notices, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Everyone's listening. Get the word out to local, regional, and worldwide listeners in real time. Advertise on Q Classifieds, your channel for quick results. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Right on Q.
So, to the 10,000s of you gathered here today, I say I know. Yes, I know many of you are pressed under the burden of debt. It's hard, but
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just love Q95. I love Q95.
to the telephone, some people are saying, Matt, we need more time to talk. No, you have some time to talk. Hello.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes.
Thank you, Lennox. Don't carry any guilt. The guilt is on the guilty. But what I would like to say is the UWP did not throw anybody under the bus. It's the allegations that has thrown the opposition people's hope in the gutter is the allegation. So whoever is guilty, I pray that we can redeem ourselves, and I'm hoping that this parliamentarian is not guilty. But if he is guilty, he has thrown our hope in the gutter. Thank you very much.
138. Hello. Mola Gassa, Sagafet.
Where's this story là? This story. What can I say? It's not what they not say. So you see, anyway,
all right, my brother. Hello, 139. Hello.
Very good afternoon to you.
How are you?
I'm all right. Quite frankly, I hesitated to call because I see the unfolding events, including the matters under discussion, as a setback for both political parties and shifting our focus away from the important things for development of the country, like the economy, jobs, and all of that. And we seem now to be more embroiled in legal matters of all kinds, and that is not, let me repeat, is not good for the country, nor for the people, nor for development of our society. I will make this short comment about the position of the UWP. To give the person in question the option to resign, I have no problem with that. I assume that if the gentleman is found not guilty of the charges that are placed, that the question of reinstatement is possible within the context of the leadership of the UWP. So, without making any particular judgment one way or the other, I would say let the thing play its course. Let's see what happens. And whilst all that is going on, for heaven's sakes, let's not put that as a priority in the country and look at the more important issues that are facing the country, into which all of this criminal activity of one kind or another is immersed. You cannot have a country developing appropriately with the people who are in all our institutions pulling their weight when you are diverted by all this kind of thing. So I hope, we will be cool of mind, cool of head, and that we are going to follow the proper course to move this country forward.
Thank you very much. Let's take a phone call. Here it's 141. As I said, you will find arguments on both sides of the fence. Hello.
Good day, Matt. How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Good to hear you, my brother.
Sorry, I'm just calling to. I listened to one of Lincoln's address on Q95 today, and his statement on DNO represents the mission and fight for the child and for the fight to stamp out child abuse. I think he's right, and you are right in mentioning that we have to remain balanced. It's not a matter of taking sides for anybody. A child made a statement that something has happened. The process has to take its course. And here in the UK and in most other countries, people immediately are called and pronouncements are made, and people are asked to take absence of leave as the matter is pursued. So we have to rise above that in Dominica, because we've been fighting this fight for some time, and it appears that some people are scared to come forward, some people are compromised, and we have to address it to ensure that our children are not in any way affected. I know of many cases. We have a lot of issues in vulnerable homes where stepfathers themselves are engaged and involved. We know they are there. And sometimes these people are compromised. We know school children themselves. I have a particular case from last year who are compromised and out late at 15, 16, coming home at 11 o'clock. And these are men, big people who are engaged in this sort of stuff. It is damaging our young children because the home is poor and because the family and the parents or single mothers need cash. We have to be aware of what's happening and to come out with strong statements to fight this scourge. If not, we are going to be in some trouble for our young girls. We have to be very, very careful.
Caller, thank you very much, all the way from the United Kingdom. One who dealt, of course, with many of the issues that we're dealing with as we speak. Hello, talk to me.
Blessings, my brother.
Yes, my brother.
And Matt, he's out there, Matt.
Yes.
He's not not in here, out there. Very encouraging. Let me shout out my friend. Blessings to you, sir. I heard you with Fadine on Monday. Matt, if you and I been friends for 20 years, 10 years, and all of a sudden you get yourself in trouble, and you claiming I abandoned you, Matt, at what point did I abandon you, Matt? In that 10 or 20 years relationship or friendship? Follow my argument closely. You there with me, sir?
I'm following you every word, yes.
At what point did I abandon you? And if you have just found new friends, how long were these so-called new friends were your friends? I wonder what scared me when he go and tell people, call them traitors. And I'm not being all over the place, Matt. I know you're following my argument. And it is sickening and sad, whether it is alleged or proven, Matt, for me to find myself in some hot water, Matt, rather than trying to remove fire under that pot. I am pushing fire under the pot and claiming people wanting me cooked alive. To me, why is humility? Why is humbleness? To say I submit. I was the one who jumped in the pot. Other people may have pushed wood under the fire. But to those who want to get me out, starting to accuse them, starting to lash back at them, what is your motive? And in closing, Martin, remember the objective. And I have said that, particularly Mr. Linton and the others, they have taken a moral high ground and have been very vocal, Matt, against violence against women and children. When something that sensitive is being alleged against a member, Matt, it is not the time to accuse them like you lie down hospital and saying, oh, so long I waiting for you to come and give me the blood. Now you come, you're still alive, and look, I have just come to give you the blood. So you don't expect VIP treatment when you're in certain situations. It is illogical to listen to the utterances, and I don't want to be too specific, of those who claiming they were thrown or pushed under the bus, Matt, when they're in a predicament where there is no closure. So why that outburst? Why that accusation? And my brother Carlisle, I love you. I hope you're not going to watch me cross-eyes. When I meet you downtown, I'll still hug you. I love you, and Matt, I want to tell you to be careful, because I know you have a lot, and all you have been very, very cautious. Look, people are already threatening to shoot all you. I hope people make sense of my foolishness. Blessings, sir.
Blessings too. It's 1:46 in the afternoon. The debate continues, yes.
Matt, if you saw those videos, you wouldn't even be having this argument.
I saw all of the videos. As an investigative journalist, it's my responsibilities. But I think some of the videos that you're looking at has nothing to do with what we are talking about. Believe me. So it has nothing to do with what we are talking about. Don't mix apples with oranges. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Yes.
Okay, Matt, in Rosa South, right? If you're looking for 12 pillars of support for the opposition, I have to be one of them. I must be one of them. So, obviously, I'm going to be biased, whether with the team or the individual. But now, what I'm concerned about is whether Carlisle had gotten information from both sides before he came this morning and made the statement he made. So I expect, if he didn't have statements from both sides, I expect him to come again to say something else. If not,
But he was making, of course, he made a statement, and he also expressed his opinion as well. A note, he did say if he was in that executive member's place, he would have resigned. That's his opinion. It doesn't mean that this is a fact and this is what is going to happen.
Yeah, Matt, but the idea of he saying...
But he's saying he can say what he wants. He has, of course, his right to his opinion, just like you have a right to your opinion, sir. All right, thank you very much. 148. Opinions are not necessarily facts, and sometimes we get that confused. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, Matt Peltier, how are you, brother?
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Yes, brother. I'm listening to you guys down in Dominica. Yeah, as a Dominican on the outside, I'm very broken-hearted, man.
You are?
Yeah, man. That's no good vibes, man. Not a country trying to develop. People hungry, people and I mean, first of all, Matt, I have a problem with Carla this morning on the way if Carla is a newsman, tell him deliver the news, and if he want a talk show, get a talk show and thing.
But again, even as a journalist, people don't know that sometimes. You have your right to your opinion, you know. You have your right to your opinion. And I think we're crossing the line there that you're expecting, from what I gather, a lot more from Kalai that you didn't get this morning. He's entitled to his opinion. Hello, thank you. I heard Angelo, from what I gathered last night, making a lot of statements. I don't hear people going after Angelo. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt. Matt, how are you doing?
How you doing?
Matt, plenty things happening in that country.
Yes, a lot is happening.
Matt, a problem I have is not Sunday gone, the Sunday before.
Turn down the volume on your radio. You should know that. I'm getting the feedback there.
Yeah, I'm out of it.
All right.
The Sunday before everything blew up.
All right.
Mr. Linton called the man. He came to his home. According to what Mr. Linton said, he sat down with him. They spoke. Like everything was brushed aside. Monday they had a meeting. You sat down in the meeting. You still brush everything aside like nothing was wrong. Thursday, when they call you in, or you went in, or whatever happened, when you realize all what was happening, why didn't you call the leader of the opposition and his team and your colleagues to work with you? Why did you call the people on the other side, or why did the people on the other side was with you and not the people you were supposed to be with? Have a blessed day, bye.
It's 1:50 in the afternoon time, and we have to weigh very, very, very carefully what's going on there. You can sense a little of the politics overbearing sometimes the facts of what is going on. Hello.
Hey, Matt, good afternoon. How are you doing?
How you doing, my brother? How are you?
Matt, I'm here. Matt, you mind if I ask you a question?
You can ask me any question. Doesn't mean I have to answer.
Okay, Matt. Don't you think that decision that Team Dominica took, that's a good decision or not?
The decision that Team Dominica took, it depends on from what angle that you're looking at it.
Huh?
From what angle that I think it was the best thing for the said member to resign, but you can look at it from different angles. The argument that was being brought on this morning was whether that was the best way to, of course, take that decision. That's what the argument is.
Matt, well, let me tell you, Matt. After you've been advocating for against child station and so on.
You see, I am not going to go down there with you. I'm not going to go down there whether what you're advocating for. The question is whether you think that the decision to, have him resign or ask for his resignation through the public is the best way to do it. That's the question being asked. I'm not going to go down with you about who's advocating for this and who's advocating for that. That is just you're treading on danger here, okay? So let me ask you again, do you think that the decision that was taken by the Opposition United Workers Party was the best decision as it was done? And that is the argument that is before us today.
Well, Matt, I personally believe that the decision they took. Hello?
I'm here, I'm listening to you.
I said, Matt, that the decision that they took, I think it is in the best interest, Matt.
All right, thank you very much. Others may have a different opinion, and that's what I'm asking for. Respect everybody's opinion. You think so, somebody else might think differently, okay? Let's just stick on that. Let's take a break. We have just about 7 more minutes, and we'll continue.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue.
I just
Matt.
How are you?
Sad, Matt.
I sense the sadness in your voice.
Matt, it really, really hurts when you are involved with matters that are before the nation right now. It has been years and years. Organizations in Dominica have been trying to put things in place on behalf of our children. Matt, a few organizations, we got together and we had a regional meeting for the Caribbean islands. The 4 Windward Islands were involved in this organization. And we brought 10 persons from each of the 4 countries to St. Lucia for a seminar. We had police officers, we had welfare, we had nurses, we had NGOs from each country, 10. Matt, one of those persons who attended that seminar is now a circuit judge in the Caribbean. Okay? That is the type of work we have been doing on behalf of the nation's children. We had all kind of organizations set up. We used to have weekly, every year we would have a week of activities to sensitize people. We would talk to the parents, we had child abuse classes, we even had programs for persons to earn a living so that they wouldn't have to find themselves in difficulties. But nothing has worked up to now. What is happening now and what is being talked about is child's play. Child's play in relation to what this country has done and tried to do on behalf of the nation's children. However, when this thing came up, I almost died because I said, oh my God, how silly, you know? And then I said, no, it cannot be true. When it reached to the stage where people started calling names, I spoke with a member of the opposition, that is, who worked with us with our programs, and I said, the right thing to do would be for that member to tender his resignation from the party executive. That member is one of ours, Matt, so you know how it feels. You know? I listened to Lennox this morning, and I said, who can blame and why are they blaming Lennox if that is what really happened? And then I said, oh my God, that is now the end of Dominica. Because our people have jumped on the bandwagon and they're talking and they're discussing and they're forgetting every other thing that is happening in Dominica. And they will take sides, who did that and who did this, and we are just going to lose out. Dominica is going to lose out, Matt, if we don't stop that nonsense. And like Dr. Shillingford said, concentrate on what has to be done and what we are supposed to be doing to save our country. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. We will take one final phone call and call it a day today. 4493095. I can sense a lot of hurt in everything that's going on. And of course, you can well understand why. But please continue to be objective on the issue. That's all I ask. Our final phone call. Hello, talk to me.
Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any person. Matt is very sad, man.
Turn down the volume. You don't have to listen to yourself. Turn down the volume. Are you there?
I'm really hurting. I'm really hurting.
I know. Everybody out there, believe me, hurting on both sides of the fence. Hello.
Matt.
Yes.
I like your way you're moving, but when I say the way you have to say it, and nothing can be taken off,
Again, it's your opinion. We have to respect that. Okay? Can we squeeze in one more? Hello?
Yeah, Matt. The thing is that this thing has been happening for a while, and nothing has been done about it. And right now, they caught one person, and I expect that person to, that person will be paying the price for every one of them. But we need to put legislation in place. And it's not happening. So long we're talking about that. And now one person got caught, but then the innocent still proven guilty. And we need to really get the orders on them to come out. We need to do research. We need to investigate because there are lots of them in the closet. Thank you.